All right, waking up on this wonderfully, beautifully sunny, blue skied Monday morning. I hope everyone is waking up well. And like I say, sunny and blue skies out there. Very, very bright. And let these notices go out here and people start waking up. And we'll do my intro. So, coming to you live deep from South Texas, about 5 miles from the Mexican border today. It's OMKR live. This is Patrick. I wish everyone a good morning, and I hope this morning finds you happy, healthy, and whole. The three H's, as I like to say, good morning, blessed, that will lighten up your day. And making fun of the three R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Zach K, good morning. How are you? I hope you guys are well this morning. Marcos, good morning. Everyone's up and running early this morning. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming, and thank you guys for hanging out. YouTube's up to their usual tricks. They took back 300 hours from me over the weekend. Yeah, doing as good as can be expected. Everyone. It's a Monday morning, you know. So let's leave this live stream happier than we came in. That's the important thing that I'm aiming for today and every day. You know, if we can have a better day after the live stream than we were having before, then we've all done something for each other that's good. And that's what I'm aiming for. Yeah, YouTube's up to its usual garbage. Instead of stealing subs from me, they took away like 300 hours. It was insane. I was watching them. I have pictures of the stats. Mr. Skullfire, good morning, complaining about YouTube. Anyway, I think they took away all the hours I've done because it came from my IP address, and there's some stuff like that. And there's also, I found some stuff online saying that looping playlists, they will actually take some of the hours away. So if you are looping a playlist, my thoughts are maybe stop it every hour to 2 hours and just start a different playlist, or just go back and forth between them if you can. It would be a big help, because apparently the looping stuff they're not happy with and they don't like. So that's okay. We'll still get there. We're doing great, by the way. 1,200 hours in less than 3 weeks is insanely good, and it's very appreciated. So I am flipping a two sun today. This is a two sun sum number. I believe this is the 300 or 301. I'm not sure. I am horrible with the two sun numbers. People coming in, say good morning. I've got some stuff to talk about. Olights. We've got the giveaway, of course, on my birthday, which I will talk about a little bit more. Oh yeah, Richard's knife is on the way, which is exciting. I think I mentioned that last week, which means that Middle Complex has sent us an integral knife that we're going to be giving away on my birthday, because I'm going to be having a reverse birthday giveaway. I'm just looking at the number of people coming in and wishing everyone a good morning. I hope you are well. So you want to be tuned to my live streams, because the information will be coming out, and I'll be showing everyone what we're giving away as it comes in. We've got some crazy stuff. Grumpy, good morning, Grumpy. I hope this morning finds you happy, healthy, and whole. The three H's. Yeah, when that knife comes in, I'll open it here on the live stream so y'all can see it. And of course, just to remind you, if you're familiar with the Fusion by Winter Blade Co., we're going to be giving one of those away. If you're not familiar with it, you should go check it out, because it's a cool knife. And of course, anything by Brian Winters is awesome. It's also sold out. Have a shave. I love being scruffy. If you don't like it, that's cool. I appreciate people coming in and giving me a hard time. You know, when you give me a hard time, you give me hours and time on my video, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much. And you are welcome to criticize my teeth too. I have horrible teeth. I also have horrible vision, and never learned to recognize people's faces and names. So I have a hard time with that type of thing. And I've told everyone they're not accepting calls right now. Grumpy, ringleader. Yeah, so you're welcome to come in and make fun of anything you would like to about me. I do shave this off, by the way. I shaved. I shave and I trim it way down about every 2 weeks, and this is after about a week. So my hair grows. I cut my hair about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. You guys know, you were here. May have been three. Anyway, I've already grown like a half inch of hair. Anyone else have like hair problems like that, or are you all with the hair loss? I'm 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 fortunate and unfortunate. I have a lot of hair. I'm fortunate in that regard. I am very unfortunate in that it grows so fast that it's a constant pain. And in fact, it can even get ingrown and cause other problems. So being hairy isn't necessarily good. Sometimes losing your hair might be better, actually. Once you no longer care about hooking up, that probably doesn't matter at that point. Um, Anyone else have hair growth, like where they grow too much hair? What a thing to complain about, right? But yeah, that is something I complain about. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna have a pick one and loop it. Yeah, Grumpy. By the way, they took back 300 hours from me over the weekend. I've got pictures of it going down. It was insane. So if you are looping it, just remember stop and check it every hour or two. Maybe switch the playlist from one to another, or even pick a single video and watch it. And then a lot of the lives are an hour long. Pick one, watch it, or set it up, and then go back in an hour and check it, or 2 hours. 36, no gray hair. Wow. Same hairline. You're lucky. Your brother, 28, nearly bald. Yeah, it's funny how that goes one side to the other. Mr. Skullfire used to have long hair, and now you're bald. You know what? I have never. My hair does not grow long. If I were to like try it and just let it go and just let it go and just let it go, it just grows out, and then it waves into this like Leaf Erikson, whatever the guy's name in the 70s with that wave feathered haircut. Yeah, my hair just grows like that on its own. I don't have a choice. Mostly gray, but hair grows super thick. Yeah, you've been shaving it since you were 14. Oh, interesting. Interesting. We have a skinhead in. No, I'm teasing, Bless. Now it's yeah, I had a friend that would shave his head. He said it was just so much easier to deal with in life, and just keeping it shaved down to just a really like nothing. And yeah, he really thought that was the way to go for him. I mean, he really loved it. By the way, this knife I'm flipping, this Tucson, is probably one of the best ergonomically designed handles I've ever held in my life. This thing is just incredible. And then the action on it is, let's do that again for everybody. Did you know Reddit has a thing for knife porn? I just found this out. I've never been on Reddit. Should I go on Reddit, guys, and start bugging people? Yeah. My hair also is longer now than it's ever been. Not to cut it until the foot's healed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, if you don't need to have it, yeah, maybe when you cut it, you can sell it for a wig. I'm teasing. But you know what? Wigs, this is an interesting fact. Made it 30 before you had to start shaving your head. All right. I shave mine with clippers. I get it down to like just a little over a quarter of an inch when I cut my hair, and it just grows back so fast it's insane. What was I going to say? Oh, interesting fact that wig companies, wigs are often made out of. I mean, you hear stories of women selling their hair, right? And in other countries, that's more common. In this country, the wig companies don't want the hair. Women treat their hair with all the chemicals and stuff, and it just damages their hair. They'll pay more for men's hair, especially long men's hair, than they will women's hair. Fun fact: the movie "This Is England" is a great representation of how skinheads evolved to relate racism, just a group of outcasts. Yeah, that was true of the punk movement. You got it tattooed. Oh, you have to send me a picture on Instagram, Mr. Skullfire. I'm gonna check it out. The only people I have to say, the only people I've known with skull tattoos were typically involved in gangs down here. Typically, it's a way for them to identify each other, and they still have hair or whatever and hide the tattoos. And so you get a lot of gangs coming across from Mexico, or I should say cartels and stuff. And so you'll have, or affiliated, and so you'll have that. And so a lot of the ink down here is questionable depending on the quality of it. If you see someone with really high quality ink, it got done at a nice place and they did a really good job, that's not gang related. But if you see so quality, yeah, it's probably a gang related tattoo. And so yeah, it just is what it is. Punk rock was the same way. Anarchy, anarchists, all of that stuff, except they didn't get quite so racist and violent. And the skinheads kind of formed their own little internal group. I mean, growing up through the 70s from that. Never been in a gang, never been arrested. Awesome. I got arrested once. Interesting story. Got arrested for a non-moving violation of allowing another person to drive who who had a suspended license. So I was working. I've worked many jobs over the years. I was working as a cashier at a gas station, and we had a compliance meeting we had to go to, and so I rode with one of my coworkers. I was just, pretty straightforward. We go to the complaint. It was on alcohol. It's on serving alcohol, and so we go to the compliance meeting, and then on the way back, this guy, I don't know what's going on. I wasn't even paying attention. Anyway, he speeds around the corner real fast, parks the car, and goes, "Hey man, I need you to drive real fast." I'm like, what the hell? Okay. So I get out and go around the car. No sooner than I get into the car, Blue, good morning. No sooner than I get into the car than this cop comes flying around the corner with his lights on, slams in front of us, hops out, yells at me, gun drawn, yells at me to get out and put my hands on top of the car. Of course I do. And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? Yeah, what the hell's going on here? And so, long story. I'm like, well, hell, man, he just asked me to get, I just got in the front seat. He asked me to drive, whatever. So we ended up, all of us ended up being taken down to jail for the night. Well, not for the night. It was for like 3 or 4 hours. And then I got it dismissed down to allowing a non-licensed driver to drive, only to plea bargain so I could just get the hell out of there for $200. And that's all it was. It was just a money-making scam on the part of the courthouse for that. At that point, the cop apparently knew the guy, and apparently knew his car, and was after him. And so it was it was a little more complicated than I had thought. But the guy had a suspended license, and apparently the cop knew him. And he saw the cop before, the cop had time to turn around or whatever, and that's why he went around the corner and had me do that. So anyway, it was an interesting little problem to run into. But it was what it was. It was my only case of ever being arrested for anything. Although, God knows we've as growing up in the 70s and the 80s before cameras were around, we all probably did stuff we could have gotten in trouble for. But yeah, that was my only experience in running with the law. And the experience was one in that it just left me with a sick feeling in my mouth, my stomach telling me that, it's just all a money-making racket. And so while I don't talk politics, I will talk against the system in terms of the legal system. Clint, good morning. Your package is on the way. It just went out this morning. I sent you the tracking on your email. So yeah, I hope you have it. Let's see. Never been to jail, says Blessed. Fortunately, probably the only person in his childhood to be able to say that. Wow. That's kind of rough. Yeah, it is rough. Once you're in the system, it's bad. Once you're in the system, you can't get out. In fact, another one of my jobs. So while I was I worked my way through PT school. Now most people, they will tell you, the schools will tell you not to try to work your way through because it's bad. But I was in the middle of a divorce and I had to work. So, yeah, the only reason you never went through is because you didn't get caught. Tell me about it. Dumb stuff when you were younger. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all did. Died a couple of times doing dumb stuff. Holy shit. Well, I'm glad you're still here, Grumpy. I appreciate it. I'm glad they sent you back from the other side, whoever they are. And let's see here. But yeah, it's once you're in the system, it'll screw you. First of all, it makes it difficult to work. You have to go to your freaking probation meetings or whatever, all that type of stuff. I've never dealt with it, but I've known of it. And that costs money. You have to pay to be on probation. You typically, if you get house arrest, you're really screwed. Interestingly enough, one of my jobs, I had I ran computers late at night. I would work from 11 to 7 a.m. I would go to school from 8 to 5, and then I would sleep somewhere and eat somewhere in between. I ran the computers that monitored people on house arrest. So a friend of mine had designed a program software system, and was partnered with an electronics company. And so they were able to hook us up. It was a good job. It was my roommate. And so we were able to do that. As a job, it paid the bills. It was pretty cool. And it was interesting. We had people that, we had one time, story time again, right? One time we had this guy, so he was known for going in and out. It's just kind of weird, right? So he goes out, and so the procedure was I would have to call him, and if they confirmed they were there at their home number, then it wasn't really a problem. We would just ignore it for the time being unless it kept happening. Because the system, sometimes things happen. They walk out to the mailbox or something, right? But this one just went off and it showed that the ankle bracelet had been cut. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm calling, going, some guy answers the phone. And I'm like, hello, I'm calling regarding, such and such. This is, the ankle monitoring system. We're monitoring this person who is on house arrest. And I'm wondering what's going on because I'm showing that your monitor was cut. Yeah, your monitor was cut off. And they go, oh, well, that's because he's dead. We're the coroner's here and we're taking him. He's dead. Holy crap. Okay. Well, all right. That was one. Yeah, this one time at band camp. You know what? I like band camp stories. Anyone else ever go to band camp? I didn't. I would go to summer camp though. I learned to horseback ride. I learned to shoot rifles. I learned to shoot rifles at like 6, 7 years old at summer camp. Anyone else have that kind of a fun experience? Because nowadays, they'd be lucky to get a BB gun at 15. If you're lucky. Your son is in band. All right. What's he play? I used to play saxophone. That probably didn't help my teeth either. Zach was saying, I got extremely lucky. Fantastic public defender. Got both cases wrapped together and your record wiped. And so you got a seatbelt ticket. Well, Zach, I am happy that's all you had. I'm really happy you got away out of the system like that. Yeah, like if you ever get arrested, by the way, good advice, I guess, not for someone who knows, but if you ever get arrested and they give you the option to plea bargain it down to a misdemeanor with no probation, no other fines and fees, just take the damn plea bargain and get the hell out of there. Don't let them keep you in the system. Absolutely. Tuba in middle and high school, and so you did go to band camp. There you go, Zach. I actually also played baritone for like 1 year in high school. The baritone was interesting. Not baritone sax, baritone, the big tuba trumpet thing. It's in between a tuba and a French horn, I think. A euphonium. What is a euphonium, Blessed? Okay, Blessed, you got to tell us what a euphonium is. We owned horses and guns, lived in a rural area. We had our own camp. Yeah, interestingly enough, one of the camps I went to was a day camp. I knew the owner's sons and kids and would just go hang out with them instead of doing the camp stuff. Or if we wanted to, we'd go to the camp stuff whenever we want, whichever thing we wanted to do. It was kind of fun. I want to know what that euphonium is. I'm gonna have to look that up if I can't figure it out. Brother played tenor and alto sax. Okay, trumpet, French horn, and bass guitar. You know what? Musical talent. I basically a baby tuba. Okay. I do not. So it's in between it'd be between those two. That's kind of cool. I never got good. I used to be able to read music a little bit, but the saxophone is a very linear instrument. It's fingered one, like this, and then there's a couple oddball fingers, but it's basically real linear, like clarinet. And then like the whatever I called it. I can't even think of the name of it right now while I'm live. Anyway, that thing had the same fingering as a trumpet with the 3 fingers. So I never learned to play anything with 2 hands like guitar. I've tried to learn guitar and I can strum some chords kind of. Same thing, ukulele, all that stuff. My daughter, oh my Lord, just to brag on her, she taught herself how to play bass and violin. She had lessons for guitar, just a little bit, and a little bit of keyboard. But she's done performances live and stuff. I mean, it's incredible. I think we posted the link to her stuff in here the last time, or last time I mentioned her anyway. It was really cool. Baritone. There you go. Euphonium. Yeah. I used to play baritone. That's what I used to play. It's just a little bit bigger, I guess, on the euphonium. Percussion. Blue played percussion, French horn, and trumpet. I've always loved the sound of French horns. I don't know about the rest of you all, but like the Star Trek intro and stuff with the French horns, French horns just move me for some reason. They're a very moving instrument for me. But yeah, and my grandma tried to teach me how to do. My grandma had a lot of musical talent. Tried to teach me how to play piano and stuff, and I could just never coordinate between the two hands to get it done. Same thing with drumming. The only type of drumming I own some primitive drums, but the only type of drumming I've ever been able to do is primitive drumming. Two handed, maybe Congo bongo type stuff. Um, let's see here. Bagpipes giving a chill. Yeah, bagpipes are the same way. Bagpipes do. They're a very moving instrument. They have a lot of energy. It's kind of interesting. So my wife suggested that I bring some Olights to talk about today. So any of you all like Olights and have any? Well, actually, we're enjoying talking about music. Let's stick with the music. We're having fun. We'll go back to it. Yeah, like I said, that probably didn't help my teeth any over the years while I was playing sax. It probably didn't. Um, yeah, and the rest is history. Grandma sang opera in high school, taught herself to play piano and trumpet, could sing like a bird. Mother played every piece, and you didn't get any of it. You know what? It's funny. It does that. Sometimes it just doesn't get passed down or skips a generation. It skipped me. That's for darn sure. But my daughter got it. She has a lot of musical talent. So kind of crazy. Joe, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Make you stabby. It has to be in the right circumstances on the Gonzo. Good morning. Has to be on the right circumstances on the bagpipes. It's certain like funerals. The bagpipe funerals kind of moving. Aunt made a career out of singing opera in Maryland. Nice. Husband plays trumpet and most varieties of sax. Like the little soprano sax is a really cool little instrument. Basically like a little clarinet. It's pretty cool. Um, Flashlights are cool. Don't have any cool ones, but hopefully we'll get. I brought a couple of the art fields with me today to show you all, if you want. Let's see here. No musical talent, says Mr. Scholar. Okay. Uh, how did I lose this? Okay, Gonzo, hello everybody. Hello, Brown Sugar. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Today I'm flipping a Tucson, and just to show this one off again, it's like a 300 or 301, something like that. Look at that action. That is just. That's why it's one of my favorite knives to carry. So I brought some Olights to talk about today, and one of the things when you see Olight pictures, I think a lot of times they look a lot bigger than they are. So this is the Perun Mini, okay? And then this one is the Baton 4. And they're very small. In fact, the Perun Mini will fit on a headlamp pretty good. They both fit very well in this case that came with the Baton 4 and that you can use to recharge the thing, and you can even use the flashlight while it's in it. And this thing holds a charge forever. I charged it when I got it. It's still at 95. And I mean, one thing I've noticed about Olights is their batteries seem to last a long time and they hold a charge a long time. But yeah, you can fit both of them in there. And like I said, you can use them while they're in there. It's kind of an interesting little setup. Great way to carry it if you're on vacation or something and you need a charge that's going to recharge these things 4 or 5 times. So it's pretty cool. Let's see here. What do we got here? Thank you, Grumpy, for posting my videos. You know what? Real quick, yeah, they took a bunch of hours away from me over the weekend. And so everyone who's doing it, keep doing it. But you probably need to go and change up the playlist every hour or two, or maybe even click on a couple specific videos and then go back to a playlist because they're looking at it. I think they just took all my hours away from me, the ones I had done. But they're not. Yeah, they're being testy. They're catching on to what we're doing. They caught us, darn it. And I can't really get mad about it because what are they? They caught us. So, but that's okay. We're still actually beating the performance that anyone would think of. Yeah, you charge your arc field once. It's a great combo. Yeah, it's a pretty cool combo of little lights like that. Great for, like I said, a vacation. And the Perun comes with a little head strap, a reflective head strap. Actually, it's pretty brightly reflective. With a clip, and the clip, I was surprised at how solid the clips hold those things in place. There's no jiggle, no play at all. I didn't bring it with me, but yeah, it does an amazingly good job. So speaking of the arc fields, I have one that I won from JB. So this one I didn't. I'm not. Don't be jealous. I won't be jealous because I won it. But I won this one from JB, Big Red EDC, and this is the one with the UV, the red, and the white, and it is freaking cool. So, Mr. Skullfire, if you remember, they had me over 1,400. Well, after the weekend, I'm back at like 1,250. So we lost 300 hours down, and then we made back about 100, 150 over the weekend. And so it's just going to be up and down as they fight to to take. Well, I think they, like I said, I think they took away my hours that I've been doing at home, where I'm running the Xbox, the TV, and stuff. I think they took away most of my hours. I know. Damn is right. I'm very upset too. But we're here to lift each other up and have a positive day. So I'm not going to let that come in and do anything. In fact, what I'm going to say is keep doing it, because we're at 1,250 hours, and that is huge. I mean, that's in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. If we keep this up, we'll get there pretty quickly. And these live streams really help. So running these live streams for a full hour, which is what I'm trying to do, really helps, especially when we have 15, 16 people in here for the whole time. It really makes a big difference. So anyway, this arc filled with the UV, the regular, and the red. Can you guys see the red? Oh, you can. All right, a little bit of red. You got the UV. You can't really see the UV very well. There you go. Kind of see it flaring. There you go. And then we got the white. And so this one is pretty cool. Again, yeah, charge it. It lasts forever on the batteries. Olights, if you're going to get an Olight, I recommend it because of that. The batteries last far longer than Nightcore and or a couple of the others that I have. They really do. And you don't have to go real expensive. The other arc field I have is the original limited edition copper one. So this thing is one solid chunk of copper with the internals for the flashlight, and it's the one with the green laser. Can I flash it? Yeah, I got you. With the green laser. And so, and this thing holds a charge forever. I've not had to get down to 1 bar yet before I recharge it, just because it holds a charge that long. So crazy cool flashlights the arc fields are. They are a little bulky for carry, and like I said, when you compare them to like something with less features, because the baton just basically has the flashlight and the strobe, right, like a normal flashlight. But when you compare them to the baton, just how tiny the baton is for fitting in your pocket for everyday carry, pretty useful. You all have seen my twist flashlight that I carry my Big Larry on. This one is the one that actually gets the most use out of all my flashlights, just because it's always in my pocket. You only have a AAA Olight. By the way, I'm throwing Olights in to my giveaway. Just so you know. I mean, there will be some of those in there. What is going on here? What is this? There we go. And come off there. But I also carry a AAA one here with me. These things are just incredibly useful. The AAA Olights, I'm giving away 2 of these. I'm giving away an O-clip. Not the Pro, but just the basic O-clip. This is not it. This is mine. But I'm giving away the basic O-clip. And then this is all stuff added into the giveaway at my birthday. And, one of those twist lights like mine, but a different anniversary. One of the aluminum ones. And so all pretty cool stuff. Those 9 LED Dollar Tree flashlights. The problem with those things is, first of all, the projection on your beam is probably about as bright as this little AAA one right here. I mean, those things don't have very good LED beam, LED generators, or whatever you want to call them, LEDs, right? Anyway, this is my opinion. But anyway, blessed again. I'm happy to send you one of my little ones. I'll get you a better light than a Dollar Tree one, just because I don't want anyone to be suffering that way. And you're a big help in the in the live streams, so I appreciate it. All right, so another Olight I have, and one of the first ones I got, was the Warrior Mini. It's got the crenellation, so you could strike someone with it, whatever. Rear mount light, and then of course it has the front light or the button light here on the side. It will strobe flash warning. So it will strobe at you. Several of these will strobe, which is kind of cool. Several of them don't. By the way, the art fields I don't believe will strobe. Oh, it will. Oh, the art field will strobe. I just blind myself. Oh, I want strobe. Blah. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. So then this one is a real basic light. It's very solidly made, and it's a really well made light. It holds a charge forever, but it's just it's just it's just a basic flashlight, but a really good one. All right, moving on here, moving right along. The next one I have, well, I kind of showed actually this one off, so I'll show it. This is another one. Now, believe it or not, I've won a lot of stuff from JB, apparently. I guess I look at all the stuff I won from JB. I won this from JB as well. So this one is the no, I can't even think of the name of it. What's this thing called again? I literally just said it. My brain's going nuts. And by the way, guys, we just dropped to one viewer. Is everyone still here, or are we losing everybody? Or is my live stream dead? Someone say something, please. There we go. It looks like you're coming back. I don't know what happened. Can you tell me what happened? It looks like we lost the live stream for a moment or something. That was weird. You're all still here? No, it's just not counting you all. Okay, that's good. All right. You have an Ace Beam small flashlight. You love it. Thank you, Bush, for chiming in. You have a few Olights, a Workos. I'm not familiar with that one. Brown sugar. Thank you, Clint. Thank you. I appreciate you all chiming back in. Yeah, it's weird. I guess maybe if you don't interact in the chat, it stops showing you being here or something. So talk to me. Anyway, yeah, the O clip. The O clip. That's it. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. Yeah, this is the O clip Pro with the UV and the red. Pretty good solid light. Again, I haven't had the opportunity to run the battery out to see to see how long it holds a charge. It just works. And this is a great light for clipping on anywhere and or magnetically putting places. It's a really good light. So, but I won it from JB. Thank you, JB. You've supplied half of my flashlight habit over the years. It's kind of nice. And the last of the beam flashlights, of course, I have a lot of the spheres. I have this one. Let me see, get it doing something. There we go. Doing the little lightning blasts or the red blasts. There we go, little blue swirls. It's a pretty cool one. You can program it from your phone, and it does pretty cool stuff. The regular Sphere Pro or whatever it is, also you can program, but the basic spheres that you can get are typically just a white, red, green, blue light, and the original ones, and you can get those now for like $5 or $10. You know, anytime. Gonzo, thank you. Anytime they have a sell or when they do clearance, I don't even think they're making them anymore, which is a shame because those things are perfect for just slapping on a wall somewhere or slapping in like a closet or somewhere where you don't have good light and just leaving there to use. They work wonderfully for that. And so I guess the last one I'm going to show here is the Seeker 4. And this is probably out of the heavier flashlights, aside from the little mini ones, my favorite in that it has the ultraviolet and the regular. I guess the O clip's probably better. But it does have a dual beam, as you can maybe see. Maybe not. There we go. Dual beam light, which is pretty cool. It does project pretty far. And so yeah, there's a little bit of my Olight collection. Anyone else? I also have those strips, the lighting strips. Anyone else have those? If you don't, you have a chance to win one because I'm going to give you one on my birthday. I'm going to give somebody one. I'm including one of those in the giveaway, the basic one, but they're pretty cool. I use it for mood lighting and nighttime lighting. So I keep mine set to a reddish pink, like low light reddish pink, so that when I'm getting ready for bed and stuff, and that light takes me away from the blue white screen light time thing. So my internal clock says it's time to go to sleep. I've found that seems to work pretty good. I don't know about you all, but if you get the strip, you might want to try that. And you can set it to do chaser patterns and all kinds of cool stuff. The other thing we've used it for is because it's mobile. Like if we have a party, we take it and throw it underneath the steps so that you can see where you're stepping and stuff at night, and it works really good for stuff like that. Recessed lighting, that type of thing. Comes with a sticking back and or clips. You can clip it on to things. It's a pretty cool light. So I'm going to give one of those away. And speaking of nighttime, who else here gets leg cramps at night? I had some doozies last night. I'm a little out of sorts today, actually, in fact, because I was up and on and off all night last night with leg cramps. Fortunately, I know how to posturally correct some of it, and I don't know how much of it is chemical, but I could posturally correct some of it and stretch out my leg to get it loose. Yeah, they are all Gonzo. They are all useful. You know what? I eat a banana every day for breakfast. Good advice. It gets worse as you get older, Grumpy. Yeah, that's what's happening with me too. I think mine is actually spinal. Right before bed. You know what, Blue? That's exactly when it started with me. I was getting ready to go to bed and it started cramping. I'm like, holy crap! And then just all night long. All night long. And it's just, every hour, every 2 hours. Okay, time to get up. It's got a spasm. Yeah, I need to have mine taken out. Potassium, I thought it was potassium, but like I said, I do eat a banana pretty regular. I mean, every day. I might start eating it in early evening before I get ready to go to bed. Maybe that would help. I think it's, I thought it was magnesium or maybe calcium dropping. I did eat a Tums, and that seemed to, like, a 500 milligrams of calcium, and that seemed to help a little bit for a couple of hours. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've had a mild stroke on that side as well, which just really makes it hurt. You wouldn't know it to look at me. Thank God, or whatever you believe in. But it absolutely did help. Dipiens contractures. Ooh, yeah, where you're getting this palmar contracture. You can't put your hand flat. Fortunately, I use my hands so much, or used them so much for massage. My big problem is arthritis in my fingers for massage and manual work when I was younger. But yeah, trains, or I'm not saying it right. But those contractures are not cool. I take it you massage it to try and stretch it and all of that type of stuff. You've got to keep it stretched out as much as you can, or it will just continue to draw up. Tissue likes to, so there's this phenomenon called histological creep. We like big words in medicine. Histological creep just means basically if you leave a tissue alone and you have a cellular mass alone and you don't do anything with it, it will tend to draw itself into a tighter and tighter pack. And that's no. The contractures are a actual genetic phenomenon in which a person develops palmar contractures, where the tissue draws up and gets tightened up. Leg and foot cramps at night are called leg and foot cramps. I don't know that there's anything. I mean, I'm sure there is, nocturnal or something or other, whatever. But yeah, that's not the something like that. It's contractures. I can't never know say it. And there's two different types. Is a totally different thing. John Elway advertises a medication for the cramps or for the contractures. So if it's for the contractures, that's cool. I didn't know they had a medication for that, and that says something, because I pay attention to stuff like this. Dupuyens. Yeah, just for some reason it's not coming out of my mouth today. Just for some reason that word just does not want to work out of my mouth. The contractures, nice. Look into it, Grumpy. They may have a medication that would help it. That's intriguing. I do know, like ultrasound, deep heating on the tissue. We heat it up with ultrasound, 3-4 degrees Celsius. We're raising the temperature, a good 5-10 degrees above your body's normal temperature. And what happens is that the collagen in those contractures then becomes fluid. It kind of starts to melt, right? And then you can actually reform it and reshape it. And this is because collagen is a bunch of little tiny microscopic fibers, right? They all link together like this. And so you have these things called collagen cross-linking. And so if you heat it up enough, you can actually get it to loosen up, and then you can stretch those guys so they link up like this instead of like this every which direction. And in doing so, it's like taking a mesh and just pulling it. It gives you a lot more movement. Well, if you don't, yeah, I understand. I'm not trusting modern medicine much myself, Grumpy. There's been a lot of things that have been really, yeah, I don't want to talk politics, but a lot of things I'm not happy about over the past, 5-10 years, right? Actually, it started all the way back with HIPAA. A lot of things with HIPAA, which it's okay, but I'm not a fan of. Uh, not a fan of the requirements. At the point that HIPAA became law and Obamacare became law, your doctor stopped working for you and started working for the government. That's the best way to put it that I can say. Fortunately for me as an independent contractor, the way I've structured my business was designed specifically to avoid that. Okay. I actually work for the nursing companies, to tell you the truth. But I try to work more for my patients. I don't bill Medicare, Medicaid. I bill the companies that are providing the home health services for the patients directly. They get my documentation, then they take that documentation, submit, and do whatever they want with it. But I'm operating on a fee-for-service basis. I do the evaluation, I submit the documentation, they pay me. That's it. That's all there is to it. And so I've tried to keep it as simple. I know, as simple as I could possibly. Um, it does seem like there was a lot of pharmacological motivation for doctors for a long time. That's been that way, but it didn't used to be that way. I mean, back in the early 2000s, it wasn't that bad. In fact, though, I remember like when Celebrex came out. And all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a big stink even back then, just because the farm reps were constantly pushing the Celebrex and stuff, and it was causing people harm. And that's happened again with other stuff, different types of medication, pain medications and stuff over the years, over and over and over again. And so yeah, there is a problem there. Definitely a problem in the medical community, and I don't really trust the doctors either. Tell you the truth, I guess I trust surgeons a little bit better than I trust most of the others. In that, I mean, it's pretty. That's gonna sound so funny. What a pun! It's pretty cut and dry, their job. Either they are doing their job and they do the surgery and it comes out good, or they don't and it doesn't, and that they get a reputation. Unfortunately, yeah, and that's a part of the problem, Mr. Skullfire. If you're dependent upon medication, especially diabetes is a rough one. If you're dependent upon medication to stay alive, you kind of have to trust the system, and you have to suck up to the doctors, which is a bunch of BS in my opinion. There's all kinds of people that are the problems, and yeah, I don't want to go there. But it's been around a lot longer than the people that are here now. I can tell you that professionally, as well as personally. So, Marcos, it's not just this group. All of them. It's all fake. It's all corrupt. They've all been fake. They've all been corrupt forever. It's not anything new. So just yeah. I don't want to point the finger at anybody in particular, but it's been this way for a long, long time. I trust people that I know. Yeah, me too. I trust people that I know that are authorities or whatever. And by all means, you guys have a question medical and you want to ask me, I can give you generalized advice, and I'm happy to. Any of my subscribers wants to ask me a medical question, please, please. And yeah, a lot of doctors now, I mean, some of the doctors are pretty compassionate. They'll give samples and stuff for people, but you still have to go to them to get your prescriptions. And I don't like that. Why are you beholden unto them as great gods of granting you the power of life? Why do you have to have a prescription? I mean, if they've already told you have to have this medication for the rest of your life to live, why do you have to go back to them every month to 3 months to get a new piece of paper saying, okay, you get to live? Again, this is a pet peeve. If you can't tell, this is a big pet peeve, and I'm sorry that I want to lift everyone up. So, but yeah, I don't like that. I really don't like that. I think there is a problem in a system that makes you dependent upon the authority to be able to function. It's one thing when a doctor gives you advice and says, "Oh, you need this medication here. This will help you get it." It's another thing when you have to keep going back to them because they're not going to renew your medication until you go see them. I mean, that's a bunch of BS. Quite frankly, that's a bunch of BS. There's no reason why that should be the case. And in many cases, a lot of doctors are like, okay, 6 months or whatever, and I get that. But a lot of them, and a lot of medications, the government mandates that they see you every 30 days. And then you have best practices. It gets stretch out. Good. I'm glad that you're doing that, Mr. Skullfire, because it gets expensive. And I just get very tired. So a lot of the prescription medications, the best practices on them are really a problem as well. And yeah, we can talk about insurance too. Are a problem as well, in that the medications themselves say, hey, we're dangerous. Anyone taking us needs to have labs run every 30 to 60 days because we could destroy their kidneys or their liver. Want to know why knives? Good morning. Hello. Hope to find you happy, healthy, and whole. The three H's, H to the third power. I really I have a problem with that, and so they create the situation in which you're forced to keep going back, and they're giving you something that's dangerous. A lot of medications, though, that people have to take don't really require that you go in as often as the doctors pull you in. It's really a problem. Insurance is also a load of crap. I agree. Anytime you have a $5,000, $7,000 deductible, before you can actually even start using your insurance, it's insane. If I'm going to have a $20,000 surgery, a surgery, and I offer the surgeon $20,000 in cash, for $100,000 surgery, they'll probably do it. It's insane. Dwayne, good morning. Yeah, you know what? That's inflation. I already talked about that with the silver thing. That tiny little 1 gram piece of silver is worth $2 right now. Whereas the silver dollar that I carry around with me every day that was worth $1 in 1930 is now worth $50, $60. That's insane. That's an insane level of inflation. So it's not a surprise that every price keeps going up all over the place. But speaking of silver, I am giving away an ounce of silver. I am going to include it because you guys have been really working hard and keep working at it. If I see the numbers drop off, I'll say, no, I'm not going to do it. But you guys, I can see you guys are working really hard to get the channels going. Thank you, Brown Sugar. Speaking of which, they took a bunch of hours away, Brown Sugar. So what I think we need to do is, if you are spamming a playlist, stop every hour to 2 hours and switch playlists, or start a regular video by itself and then go back to the playlist. Just switch it in and out, because they're seeing the numbers and they're saying, oh, we need to go look. And they went and they said, oh, we got to yank some hours away from him. I think a bunch of them, because they came from my IP, my address, they just said, we're taking it all away. They took away like 300 hours. We're still at like 1250 again. And so we still have a long way to go. But yeah, I think if we change it up, I think that will help. And I know I'm asking people to actually start doing work at that point. So I appreciate it. And it just means I'll pile more stuff into the giveaway for you all to make it even more worth your time and more fun when we do this on August 31st. Just a quick reminder, everyone who's new here, I'm having a huge giveaway on August 31st at 10 a.m. on my live stream. It's going to have all kinds of swag bags. We're going to be giving away a Protect Sprint, one of the contoured ones with the mother of pearl inlay. Beautiful automatic knife from Protect. Brian Winters is joining in and giving us a Fusion. You can't get one anywhere else. They are sold out. You can probably get it on the secondary. I have no idea what they're going for, but you can get one right here on August 31st. Or whenever he mails it to you, because he's going to mail it. We're also going to be having an integral knife that is coming from Metal Complex. So Richard has decided to send me I persuaded him to send me a knife for me to give to you all, which is going to be really cool. I'm going to be opening that up. Good morning, Mark. I'm going to be opening that up on here, and you'll get to see it. When I do, it'll be an exciting thing. It'll be like, oh, wow, this is cool. And I'm not going to want to give it to you. I'm going to want to keep it. So this is like evil tempting me to be a bad person. And so thank you for that. Bye, Brown Sugar. Why? Who's saying goodbye? Oh, later. Bye, Brown Sugar. Well, please keep it on. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining us this morning. I really appreciate that. I also have a Vero Fulcrum pry bar that is a Galaxy Anno, which was a custom Anno, and there are only like a few of them made. No idea what that thing's worth, but I know it's worth at least $100. I can't wait to see. Blessed, I hope you win something. But even if you don't, I need you there, and you too, Marcos, because I need you all to come in and help with the moderation on that, because I am concerned that we may get a lot more people than I'm planning on. I'm also planning on doing a late night live stream. I've got my office space set up now in my home studio so that I can do a late night live stream. When I get done with my paperwork, I'm just going to pop on. Tell me about it, Mark. I wish I could enter my own giveaway. And I know, and don't worry, I won't have my daughter or anyone else do it, because that would just be wrong. Like I said, this is like evil temptation extreme for me. I'm having some success there with the channel right now. Temptation comes rolling in. No, go away. Anyway, so I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun. Well, you know what, Blessed? Like I said, you guys that come in and moderate, I'll try to take care of you all a little bit. I may not be able to give you all a big knife or anything, but certainly have swag packs and stickers for you. We'll also have some crazy. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. You know what? I have no problem. You've been coming in. I have no problem making you a moderator. Thanks for joining in, and I appreciate you offering. On the 31st, that's what. Now, moderators can play. And can win. I'm not holding anyone out just because they're helping out or anything, so don't worry about that regard. Yeah, Dwayne, Dwayne, they did, and I can tell you have been. They took away like about 300 hours, which is a lot. I mean, we were up to about 1,500, and they took away about 300. But I think a lot of it was my playtime, and like I said, I think you need to change the playlists every hour or 2 hours, and I think you need to maybe hit a regular video once in a while and just play the regular video and then go back to a playlist. I think they're looking at playlists that just run continuously, and I think if it runs continuously more than like 3-4 hours, they're taking it and they're just chopping the hours off or something. It's crazy. I did find some kind of a statement online as to how they handle that, and that they do have a policy on it, which, yeah, of course I didn't know. I wasn't looking for it. I'm just trying to do the best I can, right, with what we got. But apparently, yeah, they're doing some pretty horrible. I mean, that's not very cool. But it's like they do anyway. They a lot of times. Crow, hi everybody. I am working and lurking, may not be able to chat or reply. Pro, well, thank you for coming in and sharing your time with me today. And good morning. I appreciate it. Very, very nice. Ron, yes, I am bad with names. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, they're playing games, but you know, it's okay. Like I said, we got back up after all that. We got back up to 1,200. They'll probably take some more away, over the next few days. But it's going to be one of those 2 steps forward, 1 step back thing for the next couple of weeks until we get to my birthday. But let's keep doing it because it is working. I mean, 1,200 hours in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks is nothing to scoff at. That is a huge amount of time and effort on everyone's part, and I appreciate it. Yeah, it's not so. Thank you. It's not so much that you got to step it up. It's just that, yeah, they're catching on to us, right? So now we have to change the way we do things so that it's a little less obvious. We got to hear with the obvious way, yeah, and now we got to be a little more careful how we do things so that they don't catch on and figure out as easily what we're doing, right? Which is nothing. I mean, not that we're doing anything wrong. It's just that they have a policy against spamming a playlist and letting it run to generate hours. Yeah, oh well. Yeah, it is what it is, especially by the person who owns the channel. There's a big disclaimer, and they're like, oh, really? You don't say? Imagine that. I can't imagine anyone else never thought of the idea. But that's, yeah, it is the way it is. It's kind of funny. So, guys, I am at the time where I have to start wrapping this up. I have to go see a patient, but we have so many people in here, I really don't want to. I am here every... Awesome. Thank you, Blessed. That would be awesome. Hey, things look like they're looking up then a little bit, too. I'm glad to hear that, Blessed. I pray and hope that they continue getting better for you, okay? And everybody, I hope everyone has a better day because of having come in here today. I'm live every morning, Monday through Saturday, about this time, about 9. LCAP, hi. Good morning. I'm just getting ready to wrap up. I'm sorry to say. I know. I'm just so I'm usually on by 9:30, 9:45 Central Standard Time, and yeah, but I'll stay on another minute or two. I got another minute. Let everyone say hi to each other, and it takes me a minute to send this thing off. So say hi to each other and all that stuff. That's what we're here for, is to have fun and lift each other up. Don and Chris Lowry, hi. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. I knew a Scott Lowry way back in the day when I was younger. Anyway, so I'm gonna be. Oh yeah, I love the poker chip. I can't wait. I really can't wait. If you can let me know, I'll send you something to cover your cost, and see if we can get those here by the birthday. That would be really fun. Throw those in. But I also dig them because they're pretty darn cool. Bee knife. That's pretty cool. I like that. The giveaway is August 31st at about 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when it will start. Some crazy stuff coming in to give away to you all. I am so looking forward to it. And this is the part where I got to start wrapping up and sending this in. So please join me tomorrow. I beg of you all, if you can spam a playlist, spam it, but remember to change it out every hour or two, so that they're not catching on to us as much as they are. I don't want, and then I'm also, thank you, Blue. I am also going to try and do a live stream late at night. So if anyone wants to join me and see my home office, probably tonight, we'll pop on and do a little quick live stream and do a test run, see how it runs after I get done with all my paperwork. So we'll see how that works. I hope it works out pretty good. I had a problem with my main computer not wanting for some reason, YouTube would not find the camera. I don't know why, but my laptop will run it. So I'm just going to do it from the laptop for now until I can figure out how to do it. So I wish everyone a wonderful day. I hope your day is better than it was before you got here. And